What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Just Cuz TV channel. This week, another wrestling pay-per-view quickly approaching. This weekend, we've got WWE Fastlane 2021 on the Fastlane to WrestleMania. We're coming at you off the top rope. And as always, on Off the Top Rope, we are joined by Cousin Steve. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, Thursday night, pay-per-view this weekend. College basketball is here, too. A lot of fun stuff going on, man, I think. Ready to talk some wrestling, though, if you are.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Not going to take any more time, guys. Let's hop right into it. We're on the fast lane to match number one here. We will kick things off here with the Women's Tag Team Championship. We've got Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, the current Women's Tag Team Champions, going up against Sasha Banks and Royal Rumble winner Bianca Belair. Steve, take this one away, man. Kicking us off here, Women's Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, so I think this is just to set up the Sasha Banks Bianca Belair match at WrestleMania. Like, is there a possibility that they win the titles? Yeah, sure. I mean, there's always WWE. There's really a possibility for anything at really any point. But I think it's pretty clear what's happening here. This is just a way to get them some heat, some storyline in before their match at WrestleMania. So I mean, I think it's pretty clear cut. I think Nia and Shayna win here. I wish Nia has so much potential for who she could be, what she could do. I just wish she wasn't as stiff and as green as she was. But
man, yeah, she's a really good athlete. I just don't think she shows it very well. I like Nia, I do, but you watch her in the ring.
I think
yeah, you said it perfectly. She's very stiff.
Yeah. Well, she broke Becky Lynch's nose. She's she hurt. She's hurt a couple other people. So it's tough. I wish it was better. I think maybe if she spent some more time in NXT, got her licks in before she came up. Now Shayna's great. They should do more with her. They should make her just like she was in NXT, way more badass. And I think this will be a decent match. They probably won't get much time. They maybe get 10 minutes. That's how women's wrestling is a lot of the time, unfortunately. But shout out to Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker for their no rules match on AEW. I think it was sweet.
So, Steve, I want to touch on Fastlane here for just a quick second. Do you feel like Fastlane is more or less just a prequel to WrestleMania, and there's not much in these feuds? It's almost too predictable to have a pay-per-view at this point.
Yeah, they really should just do away with Fastlane. Actually, me and my sister were able to go to Fastlane 3 years ago now, Fastlane 2018, when I was in Columbus. And it's always great to go to a WWE pay-per-view to sit front row and see the guys. And, me and you've done that on multiple occasions. It's fun. It's great. It's always fun to do. We even got to sit on one of the worst Monday Night Raws ever when they did the brand split and then came up with the wild card rule. And so, I mean, like, even if, like, while we're there live, it's great. But then you come home, you read all the reviews. It's like, oh, yeah, that did stink, I guess, when you look at it sitting from home. But, yeah, I just think Fastlane, why put another pay-per-view in here? I think it would be smart for NBC to look at it and tell them to get rid of it now that the WWE Network is officially on Peacock now. Say, hey, just keep building toward WrestleMania because it's your biggest show. Why not give it 2 full months of build?
Yep. As opposed to what appears to be overly predictable pay-per-view matches. A pay-per-view should be a culmination of a story, and they kind of treat Fastlane as like, well, we got this pit stop here in the middle of March that we don't quite know what to do with, so we'll give it a catchy name like Fastlane. We'll call it the Road to WrestleMania, and they try to merge those together. And we'll get to this intergender match here in a little bit. It's almost too predictable, I feel like, when it comes to this pay-per-view. Just the timing of it makes it that way, unfortunately.
Sure.
So Steve has Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler here. So Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, they're pushing towards WrestleMania then, you feel like?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, this is a build towards their feud and what they're doing and what they're working on.
Perfect. So then last question here for this match. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, who can knock them off? Do you think they're going to drop these belts anytime soon?
It's it's hard to tell. It's hard to look and see anyone. They they could always give Naomi and Lana a push. That's kind of a weird couple. Same thing with Natalia and Tamia. There's some odd couples out there that are like, maybe they bring up somebody from NXT. Maybe they bring up like Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Maybe they're dual champions, champion versus champion match at WrestleMania or something like that. Who knows? But right now, unless they establish someone else, it doesn't seem like it.
I feel like the only way they lose these titles is if one of them makes like a face turn because they can't get along or something like that.
Right. Which I would assume would probably be Shayna because she's obviously the bigger star.
Yep, she has the bigger name draw. I feel like when she would turn face as a result of this feud, it would push her on to bigger and better things down the road. But Steve, nonetheless, we've got Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I totally agree with you here, taking the tag team championship and retaining. That will take us to match number 2 we currently have on the card. We've got the Intercontinental Championship match with Big E going up against Apollo Crews. Who you got in this one, Steve?
So I preface this with I think this feud will continue. I like this feud. I like the new Apollo Crews. It's about time they did something with him. He's I remember when they first signed him, 4 or 5 years ago, came in at NXT, this crazy strong, crazy athletic guy. It's been a long time coming for him to get a shot at this. So I hope eventually he does get at least, give him like a 3-month run with a title. But I just don't think it happens here. But I think something fluky happens either. So I think Big E technically wins, but I think like Apollo freaks out and hits him with the stairs again, gets disqualified, or Big E gets a sudden roll up on him and then he flips out and beats the crap out of him. Something like that. Like Big E's going to walk away with a win, but Apollo's going to come out still looking strong, I think.
Okay. This is setting up towards maybe another WrestleMania match here. Big E, Apollo Crews, you think then in a rematch?
Yeah, I think so. Which I think it would be smart. Maybe Sami Zayn gets thrown in there. Maybe it ends up being a triple threat at WrestleMania. Maybe he weasels his way in there. Which Sami Zayn is another criminally underused wrestler by WWE, but that's a topic for another time.
What do you think about Sami Zayn's current film gimmick he's got going on here?
It's like documentary, like what do you call it?
He's got a film crew following him around.
Conspiracy theory. Person. Yeah, man. You know what? Give him his old theme music back. Make him cut his hair. Make him a face again. Like I like that Sami Zayn. Like Sami Zayn is smart and can kind of do it anyway. But I like the Sami Zayn.
Yep.
The ultimate underdog throwing haluva kicks everywhere. That's the Sami Zayn that I like.
Yeah, he's not a good Weasley heel. I don't buy it.
Right. He's not a Miz type heel. You know.
Agreed.
You don't see him going out to do anything underhanded to win. Like you get that out of the Miz, right? Like, and he plays it so well. But with Sami Zayn, it's just like, he's capable of winning and beating people. So it's like he doesn't have to be shady and weird about it.
Right. He's not viable as this. I need to document every travesty that happens against me and then complain about it.
Right.
So I agree with you there. But Steve, Big E here, by some sort of shady measure, will take down Apollo Crews and retain the Intercontinental Championship. Again, this is one of those byproducts of Fastlane. You just can't see the Intercontinental Championship switching hands here just to have another switch back at WrestleMania or anything like that. Give maybe Apollo Crews his win at WrestleMania and let him build from there. That could be a thing. With the New Day, now having the Tag Team Championship belts, maybe it's time for Big E to switch things over to Apollo Crews. That will... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Steve. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, I agree. Like, I like Big E, but I think the Intercontinental Championship for Big E should be a stepping stone to the Universal Championship.
Let's see.
He's destined for bigger and better things, I think.
I totally agree. Yep. I think it's time to give Big E a push. Kofi got there. Let's go. Big E retaining for Steve here. That will take us to our next match. One I'm looking forward to, honestly. I think this is going to be a really great match. We've got Drew McIntyre, recently dropped the WWE Championship to The Miz. We'll get to that. Taking on Sheamus. This has been a feud that's been building here for a while, Steve. Who you got in the singles match here?
This is, again, I think we were just talking about it. Fastlane is just a transitional thing. It's just there to put another, notch in their pay-per-view belt for WWE. But honestly, I think it'll be a really good match. These guys always put on great matches. They're hard hitting. They're just two bruisers who just beat the crap out of each other. And they're great. They're both great in their style and the things that they do. Sheamus has been, from what I've seen and what I've read, been putting on some crazy good matches. A lot of people are really happy with it. But Drew McIntyre has a WWE Championship match coming up. I don't think it's smart for him to lose here. I think McIntyre wins. I think it's a really good match. I think it's a hard fought match. I think this is one of those things where, McIntyre maybe like tries to shake Sheamus's hand and then he goes, oh, okay. And then Bro kicks him or Bobby Lashley comes out and beats him up post match. But I think McIntyre takes the win.
Yep, agree. What do you think on a scale of 1 to 10 here, odds of happening, maybe something along the lines of like a double count out to make both guys still look strong, and we go towards WrestleMania from there?
Yeah, I thought about that. Maybe like I said, maybe another fluke finish where, one person gets disqualified. Maybe like McIntyre won't stay down. So Sheamus takes off a turnbuckle and then throws him into a turnbuckle or gets caught or something like that. But yeah, I think that's highly possible to keep both of them strong. But it's a pay-per-view. Like you need a payoff at a pay-per-view match. You can't be, especially with this feud, it's kind of ran its course. If McIntyre was the champion still, I could see that. And then run that into WrestleMania. But with him already having the confirmed match at WrestleMania, it doesn't make sense. You need a definitive finish, and then you can, do your fluky stuff at the end.
Yep. I feel like Fastlane's not the appropriate title. It should be like Shady Lane or something like that, because I feel like all these matches have the possibility of just having some fluky sheet, if you know what I'm saying, coming out of these. Sure. So Sheamus then, should he lose this match? Where do you think he's going?
It's hard to tell. I mean, Sheamus could go into another tag team sort of thing. Could drop down, look at the United States title picture. I don't really see that happening. I don't. Maybe McIntyre loses at WrestleMania and him and Sheamus end up being in a tag team.
Okay.
I think that's highly possible.
Yeah, they come together and just run the tag team division. I could see that happening, sure.
Yeah.
I think that'd be good. But Steve taking Drew McIntyre in a match I'm actually looking forward to. I think this is going to be a great match here. Again, two bruisers ready to go at it. That will take us to a match that I must preface by saying this match was recently taken off the card by WWE. On Monday's Raw, we saw, Shane pour all the goo, the slime all over Braun Strowman. This match has now been pulled. There are rumors of it potentially moving to WrestleMania. And again, Steve, here's the problem with us filming on Thursday night, unfortunately, is the card is not fully set. We don't have information on this card. We have SmackDown coming tomorrow night. But we want to leave this match here just to get some thoughts on it. What do you think is going to happen from this match? Should it or should it not take place, I suppose?
I mean, knowing WWE, they're going to make it happen. They got to put Shane McMahon on WrestleMania. I wish it wouldn't happen. Shane has done some great things. He's had some really cool moments, but it's like this guy, this monster that you have, it's your prototypical, like Vince McMahon in love, like big beefy dude. And you want to put him in some like bullshit match with Shane McMahon. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I would hope, I would hope that Braun Strowman would win, but the way they've handled him so far, just as a whole, I wouldn't think he would win. I would almost guarantee you that Shane would win.
He's currently, it seems, a far cry away from any sort of title picture for some reason.
Yeah, which is, I mean, he was going to be in the Elimination Chamber, and then he was out, and then he said, I think this is where this whole feud stems from, is that whole, he was like, oh, you better do something about it. And then, didn't. And I don't know. It's weird. What else is there to say about it? And it's crap. WWE, stop it.
Yep. So you're not a fan of this feud at all then?
No, not at all. There's no point. Zero.
So I would say, Shane, should this match take place at Fastlane? I don't personally think that it will. I don't think he has much chance in coming through this. I think that's why they might be pushing this to WrestleMania, would be my guess. They don't want this feud to burn out at Fastlane for both of these guys to not have anything going into. Like, imagine Braun Strowman's whole entire thing at WrestleMania is he's in that Battle Royale. that's a waste of a guy who I think is top level right now, in my
Oh,
opinion.
for sure.
So I think they smartly, if that's what they're doing, they're pushing it to WrestleMania. So Steve, we will leave your pick blank for this. If you want to see our thoughts on this match, especially Steve's thoughts, check out our WrestleMania episode coming in a couple weeks. Wink, wink. But Steve, we'll get away from this match and we'll get to a match again that it just screams predictable. There is no way in any sort of universe, dimension, if you want to go to the fifth gate of hell to try to find a result for this, I don't think you're gonna. I think you're still gonna find the same answer. But we've got Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton in an intergender match. LOL. Take this one away, Steve.
I think you preface it with the perfect response. It's predictable. That doesn't mean it's not good or not exciting.
Sure.
But just because you know what's happening doesn't mean it's not good. Like everything doesn't always have to be shock and awe and surprise.
Yep.
So I personally have liked sort of what they've done with the whole Alexa Bliss, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt thing. It's spooky, it's cool. We don't have the Undertaker around anymore, so we got to have somebody else to do the weird, spooky out of this world stuff. So yeah, make it Bray Wyatt. He's been gone for a couple months, which I think for the Fiend is good, because I think the Fiend needs to be used on a more infrequent basis, because he kind of loses his, just like anything, you overexpose it and kind of loses its power.
Yep.
He should be like what Finn Balor's demon was, where Bray Wyatt, Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt is out there and he's fighting and he can lose and that's fine. He can do whatever, he can do whatever. Bray Wyatt can go out there and get beat and smile and be happy about it and whatever. But then like when he needs to turn it on, he comes out as the Fiend and he gets the win every time, or doesn't lose effectively. It doesn't have to win like definitively, but does not lose. So I think this is a no contest, to be honest, but I guess if I had to pick a winner, it would be Randy Orton, clearly.
Okay. Yeah, I should have thrown no contest up here, honestly, as the pick.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think this will be no contest. I think as we kind of preluded to, the Fiend comes back here. This is where he comes back to set up another WrestleMania match.
Totally agree. The mystique of the Fiend, or I should say the luster of the Fiend, is his mystique, right? Where he comes in and just, that's him. I like where this feud's going. We had Alexa Bliss shoot Randy Orton with lightning. Got him in the face. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool effect there. We saw Randy Orton get distracted by Alexa Bliss in the, what was it? The match with everybody. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. Where he got counted out. So this is building. I think there's a 0% chance that Randy Orton pins Alexa Bliss in the middle of the ring. I think there's also a 0% chance that Alexa Bliss pins Randy Orton in the middle of the ring. So no contest here, but for pick's sake, Randy Orton takes it here, unless some very strange things happen that gets Alexa Bliss a win over Randy Orton, courtesy of the Fiend.
Yep.
Anything else you want to touch on this match, Steve?
No, I mean, we've kind of said it all.
Okay, perfect. So we think it's going to be no contest here. That will take us to the last match we currently have on the card. I got the Daniel Bryan shirt on today, if you all can see that. Looking forward to this match as well, although I think there's going to be more than this, so you get the yes chance going here. We've got current Universal Champion Roman Reigns, of course with Paul Heyman, taking on Daniel Bryan here, he feels like he deserves a shot here at this Universal Championship. Steve, take this one away, man. What's going to happen?
I would love more than anything in the world for Daniel Bryan to win, and then, like, let's say they put this match. This is all hypothetical. I don't think this has happened at all. Let me preface that. It'd be great if they put this match maybe at the beginning of the night or somewhere in the middle of the card, and Daniel Bryan wins somehow. He, hits a running knee, gets a roll up, does something crazy, right? Then Roman Reigns runs in the back, beats the crap out of Adam Pearce, makes him give him a rematch that night, and then wins the title back again. Something crazy like that. But like I said, I don't think that's going to happen. I think this will be a good match. I think it'll be a great match. I think, maybe Edge comes out and like screws Daniel Bryan because he like, he's the ultimate opportunist. He always could, do something crazy like that. But
Well,
I think it's
I'll interject here super quick. There's a match tomorrow on SmackDown where the winner of Edge and Jey Uso is the special guest enforcer for this match. So we've got that playing into this particular match as well.
yeah. I mean, so I think if Edge wins, he very well could come out and screw over Daniel Bryan. You think he's about to do one, maybe he hits the running knee and he's like 1, 2, and there's never a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, but then that sets up, that kind of makes Edge a heel. So, but then he obviously is like, no, I didn't want to face Daniel Bryan. I wanted to fight Roman Reigns. I had to make sure that happened. So, and then at that point, it's like heel versus heel. And then, it's heel versus heel matches. Just, they never have the same allure as, bad guy versus bad, good guy or two good guys fighting. Because two good guys fighting is just like, hey, let's just see who's better. And let's all feel good about it. Bad guy versus good guy. It's typical good versus evil thing. Bad guy versus bad guy. It's like, you don't really like either one of the guys. Why do you care?
So there's no investment in the match for sure.
Right. So I think it'll be a good match. I think it'll be pretty straightforward. I think Roman Reigns wins because you can't get out of that whole Reigns versus Edge thing.
Sure. So on a percentage scale, what do you think that this leads to a triple threat match at WrestleMania, including Daniel Bryan?
I think it's possible. I think WWE would be dumb to do it because you're just repeating WrestleMania 30, and you leave yourself open for the exact same thing to happen where everybody wanted Daniel Bryan, but you gave them Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns is in a completely different spot right now. So I think if you do pull that, I think I'm really enjoying what Roman Reigns is doing. He's, the swagger, confident, cocky, wrestler, finally got rid of, the flak jacket. Mm-hmm. So, love Roman's look, love his attitude, love the whole thing, love the character now. Me and you both were not big fans when they were trying to, make him this like, oh, baby face, and look at him, he's trying so hard, and
he's over there sitting in the corner again, taking a potty break, like he's
right. God, I remember that WrestleMania. Like, yes, let's not focus on the Titantron that's showing AJ Styles debuting. Let's look at Roman Reigns' stupid face.
Yeah.
Good idea. So percentage wise, I think it's possible. I think WWE sets themselves up for failure. So I give it like 30%.
30. See, I'm more towards, I'd almost go 2/3. See, I'm going to go 67%. Because I think what this is trending towards is you don't want to have a special guest enforcer if he's not going to play a role. Right. The good news is we don't know who that person is, so we can just speculate, which is what the show's about, right? To talk wrestling and figure out what's going on here. So what I think they're kind of trending towards here with this particular matchup and having Daniel Bryan give all these promos about how he deserves to be in the main event or whatnot, or be the champion and all this stuff. I think something fishy goes down with whoever becomes a special guest enforcer. I think that's a guarantee at this point. Mm-hmm. I think that leads to somebody getting inserted into a triple threat match. It may not even be Daniel Bryan. It may be Jey Uso gets inserted into that match at WrestleMania. I have no idea. But then that could result in Roman Reigns not getting pinned to lose the championship. And then you continue with, oh, Roman was never pinned. He's still the strong character. All that kind of stuff. So again, right. It's you never know what WWE's thinking, or specifically Vince and Triple H are thinking, I guess I should say. But I do think Roman has to walk out of here with this championship. So I agree with this pick, but I think Daniel Bryan's going to be in this match at WrestleMania with Edge. It's just I have this gut feeling, and also because I'm a Daniel Bryan fan, I got the shirt on, so I'd like to see that for my own personal reasons.
I got the shirt.
Right, I got the shirt on. Yeah, it's got his big face on it here with the beard. Yeah, but Roman Reigns here holding on to the Universal Championship over under 0.5 uses of handcuffs in this match.
0.5 uses.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say under. I don't think they go there.
Yeah. It's unless Jay comes out with his, referee stuff on. He's like, hey, I brought the handcuffs again to redeem Paul Heyman.
Look what I brought, guys.
And then Paul Heyman knocks him out or something like that. I was like, get that out of here. Yeah, I can't do that again.
No, I don't think this feud has gone to that point yet.
Yep. I agree. It feels very placeholder-ish because of Daniel Bryan's claim. We'll call it a Game of Thrones claim to the throne, if you will.
Right.
He's not a blood relative of anybody sitting on the throne, but he feels that it should be his, and he's trying to take his. Meanwhile, Edge does apparently have a claim to the throne, winning the Royal Rumble. I almost called it a Battle Royale because I'm an idiot.
That one Battle Royale that one time.
Yeah, I believe there was a pay-per-view about it or something like that. But we've got Roman Reigns here retaining. I totally agree with you here, Steve, but I'm looking forward to, or I'm going to predict there's going to be a triple threat match at WrestleMania involving this Universal Championship of some kind.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I think if you're gonna call it a triple threat, I think the Jey Uso situation makes more sense. Like you said, if he's gonna lose it, maybe Jey gets pinned, and now he's like, oh, I didn't lose it, my fucking family lost it, and he's like beating the shit out of Jey again, you know. And maybe Jimmy comes back, tries to defend his brother. Then maybe that's a thing. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that opens up the can of worms that WWE is looking for here with some sort of gimmicky stuff going on with this match. That will do it, though, Steve, for us here on this pay-per-view. Any final thoughts about Fastlane that you don't think we covered during this pay-per-view?
I think it needs to go away. Then you might as well just let it build towards WrestleMania. I mean, honestly, for me, like, why not just have the Rumble and then WrestleMania? Like, nothing in between.
Yeah. It's
really
or Elimination Chamber. You want to get rid of that too?
Put that later in the year.
Maybe first week of March. So do you think they can go from, we'll say, end of January for Rumble to first week of April for WrestleMania without a pay-per-view in between then?
I think they could, for sure. I think it's possible. Or I remember when WrestleMania was in March. Put it back in March. Make it the middle of March. So now you have basically a month and a half. Put the Rumble the end of January. So you have all of February, couple weeks in March. So you have like 6 weeks to build, and then put it in March.
Yeah.
And then bring back Elimination Chamber, put that in April. Because now you can boil over feuds from WrestleMania into Elimination Chamber, and that makes more sense than the Chamber setting up feuds for WrestleMania.
You can use the gimmick of the Chamber to set up 4 feuds, honestly, in each match from there to push forward maybe towards SummerSlam then. So
yeah, because WrestleMania is normally the conclusion of a lot of storylines, right? So you got to somehow make new ones.
Yep.
So bring in the Chamber to do that. You can continue other storylines from WrestleMania if you want. You can set up new ones. There's a lot of different things you can do, and you give yourself more time.
Yep, I agree. And it makes maybe even those, like, we'll call them the play-in matches where you do the one-on-ones to who gets in the Chamber. That makes those even more crucial then, because you don't have to have any pre-existing storylines from there leading into the Chamber. It's just, hey, mano a mano, maybe some weird shit happens and then someone takes over there from the Chamber. You never know. But yeah, I totally agree with that. This pay-per-view, never a big fan of it. We'll watch it though this weekend. It's always like a 2 or 3 out of 10 for me. Not one I look forward to.
Yeah.
But that will do it here, guys. Fastlane 2021. Going to have a WrestleMania show coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Looking forward to that one. The culmination of all things wrestling here in 2021. We're coming at you off the top rope. And Steve, we will see you guys in the next episode.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.